thumbnail or this title a lot. Nobody cares, work harder. And there's two things that I wanted to say about this, because I think most people are not looking at any nuance or subtleties, because most of the time the answer is not as black and white as you would think. So first and foremost, there are people who care. I literally, my entire gym was based on the foundation of caring about our clients. We did so many things that you would not do if you didn't care. And secondarily, I achieved the goals that I've achieved, going from excruciating back pain to being able to, deadlift 500, be super lean, all these different things. And getting, very strong. And these things were possible because I had coaches who cared. Um, and also on the business side of things, there's people that have helped me and spent time with me because they care. Granted, there are obviously there is some truth about, okay, nobody cares, work harder, but in the terms that, or in terms of like, okay, at the end of the day, you have to put on your workout stuff and go to the gym and execute. No matter how much I care, I could never make a client do the work. I can't lift the weights for the client. I can't go in the kitchen and cook for the client unless they paid me an absurd amount of money. Then I would do that. But my point is, you do have, the only person that can do the stuff for you is yourself. But that doesn't mean that there's not people who care about helping you succeed, and helping you along the way, navigate the different issues that we run into when we're trying to accomplish, whatever goal it is that we're trying to accomplish. So, these types of titles, I don't like to, most of the time, like, I don't like to use these types of titles because it attracts a certain type of person. And the purpose of these titles is to attract attention. But my recommendation is, find a, a group of people or a community or a coach who does care, because there's a lot of those. And then at the same time, take the grain of truth, or take the have some subtlety and nuance, and understand that, yes, I might have the greatest coach in the world and they might really care, but it's not going to matter unless I go in the kitchen and I experiment and I try to cook different things and find out what's the easiest way to go about this. It's both. Take the responsibility and be around people who care. There's a lot of them. My gym was full of people who cared. I made it a point to let my staff know and all my interns that, hey, you are not here for any other reason than to help the person that walked through the door. Um, and I think these types of titles, they they do more harm than good. I mean, I get the intention and the idea, but for most people, they cannot, the shame and the guilt does not allow them to take in the core of that message, because they're feeling so bad. And when you're feeling bad, the probability of you doing something that takes you further away from your goal goes up. So, that's kind of the thing that I wanted to share about these types of videos. Um, And if you have that understanding, then sure, maybe there's something valuable for you or useful for you in those messages. But I can tell you from my own experience, like I tried to use the whole willpower and forcefulness way many times, and I didn't get anywhere. I didn't get anywhere in business. I didn't get anywhere in my fitness. Um, and it's when we allow ourselves a little bit more grace, or when we have more grace with ourselves, it's pretty crazy the things that can happen. So that's all I wanted to share about this. The whole social media world is built on, and I've been having these conversations with my private clients. There's the whole social media thing is built on capturing your attention. Okay. And what types of things capture more attention? The If I'm talking, like, for the most part, it's very calm and relaxed, and I'm not telling you any new information. I'm actually removing all the bullshit that prevents people from getting leaner in a very easy way, and leaving you with the few basic truths that allow you to lose fat, right? And so it's not very exciting. You're not going to get, outraged by it. You're not going to be like, oh my God, this is some crazy new thing, other than the burrito diet, which obviously is like, people like the burrito diet. What do you mean you can lose fat with burritos? But the burrito diet is built on calorie deficit. It's built on understanding the principles of the food enjoyment matrix, which is, if you make food that's high in enjoyment and low in calorie density, you're going to lose fat, right? So if you enjoy it and it's low calorie, that means that you're going to want to eat it, right? The problem is that most people don't know that that's possible. They only think that high enjoyment is high calorie density. So, they don't think that it's possible. So it's like, there's no way something can be enjoyable and, help you lose fat. But again, the point is, the internet world, and even prior to that, if I read the newspaper at the coffee shop every morning, and I remember my teacher in seventh grade, Mr. Seibert, our history teacher, he mentioned, like, when you read things, when you read the newspaper, be aware of the biases. And I was like, the newspaper is biased? There's no way. They're giving us the news, the facts. And that always stood out to me, because as I've gotten older, I realized, because I go to the coffee shop, I get my coffee, I get my donut, and I open up the newspaper, and I'm like, wow, like, there is a lot of and the way that they're writing it is the same as social media. They need to grab your attention, and they have bias, and it's not going to be, you're not going to read it if it's not exciting, or if it's not going to bring up some outrage to you. So, understanding these things helps you become more calm. It helps you have space between something that happens, or something you read or listen to, and your response to it. And that's really the key. Like, having that space allows you to make better decisions. Well, we'll leave it at that for today. I just wanted to share, like, there's a little bit more nuance than just nobody cares, work harder. There's a lot of people who care. At the same time, if you really want, you don't need to lose fat. Like, you can live your entire life and be overweight. You don't have to get strong. If that's your preference, then there's wonderful ways to go about it, right? And it will allow you to engage with life on your terms. And that's my definition of health, is the ability to engage with life on your terms. That is, I think, the best definition of health, right? The ability to your ability to engage with life on your terms. And you can go through your life and be a great person and have a great life and a great family and be overweight, but if you're leaner and stronger and healthier, you can do things, you can engage with life differently. Okay. So it's the same as with money. It's like, you don't have to make a lot of money. It's not a like money is made up. Yeah, you can do more things and blah blah blah, but you don't have to. But having more money, having more financial strength allows you to engage with life a little bit differently. It allows you to engage with life on your terms. So physical strength is the same way. I changed my business's name from San Jose Barbell to the Strength Method because in my experience of 20 years of strength and conditioning and having a gym, getting stronger fixes most things. Okay. And strength is the foundation that lets you do so much more. And so, you know, a lot of people, I'll give you an example. One of my clients, the guy, super successful guy, super wealthy guy. And he had two kids, and him and his wife, they would travel every month somewhere. And he was telling me, one time they went to Disneyland and he had to stay in the hotel room because he couldn't stand because his back was in so much pain. And that's initially the reason why he came to me, because he saw me a video of me talking about how I had excruciating back pain, and then I went on to squat 350, deadlift 500, blah 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 blah. And I could just like this grown man was like just kind of, he wasn't gonna cry, but like I could see the sadness. Like he made all this money and he has a beautiful family and he can't even engage with them in Disneyland because he's in so much pain. So, and for him, like within a month of strength training properly, like he was able to, he was telling, like he went on to, he got super strong. So this guy went from like this type of excruciating back pain to like, I think his deadlift was like 420. And, he's not a giant guy. He was like 175, 180, maybe 5'10". Got super strong, and like he could do anything all day. Like that's the benefit of having that physical strength. Same way as like if you have low financial strength and your water heater goes out, that $1,000 bill is very painful. But if you got plenty of money and you are financially strong, that $1,000 bill is not a thing. You just pay somebody and they fix it. Done. So anyways, bringing it back home to the main message of nobody cares, work harder. Let me tell you, there's many people who care out there. I care. If you ever need help, feel free to reach out to me. You can email me at rambeer013@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram, whatever it is. I have spent my life caring about people because what I experienced changed my whole life from getting strong. The physical pain was one thing, but just how I felt around other people and walking around and always being afraid to I walk into any room and I feel fantastic. Like I feel very relaxed in any situation, and just the confidence that I received from getting physically stronger. And so, I didn't have that growing up, and I sought that out through my coaches. And that's what I tried to bring with, my gym first and foremost, but then, with my clients, then with, anybody who engages with me on social media, YouTube, Instagram. I've been thinking about this too, is like, what can I do to take that and go a little bit deeper on that? And I've been contemplating doing like 100 days and helping 100 people. Like, let's get on the Zoom. Let's figure it out for you. Let's find out what what is your biggest roadblock right now that you think is preventing your fat loss and you're getting healthier and stronger and fitter and becoming a hard body, which is that's the goal. You want hard bodies. And just helping them and walking them through it. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But yeah, people do care.